You're welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with us some personal tips on how to break free from the comparison trap. Now, as someone who is committed to growth and personal development, chances are you periodically look at what other people are doing and compare it to what you're doing. And when you do that, you may get to find out that these people are doing way better than you are, or in some cases that you're doing better than they are. But is it actually a good thing to constantly compare yourself to people? Right? Because when you do that repeatedly, you get caught up in a cycle, which I call the comparison trap. So, in this video, I'll be giving some practical tips that would help you break free from the comparison trap. The first thing is to be grateful. Be grateful for how far you've come. Give yourself a pat on the back. Nobody knows how hard it's been for you to come as far as you've come. If you don't give yourself a pat on the back, nobody's going to give it to you. And this is not to say encourage mediocrity, but giving yourself a pat on the back is going to serve as a spur. Gratitude plays a huge role in helping us realize how far we've come in life and how much effort we've put in to get to where we are, even if we are not where we want to be. But expressing gratitude helps us see how far we've come, and it also gives us the strength or the spur we need to move on to the next phase. The next thing you can do is to acknowledge where you are. There is nothing wrong with saying, I'm not doing very well in this field because I'm not putting in enough effort. It's in acknowledging where you are that you can find out how far you've come. The next thing you can do is focus on your strength. If there is something you can do, leverage on it. If there is something you know how to do, try to be better at that thing. When you have something that you do extremely well, it builds your confidence. And when you're working towards improving yourself in a particular area of your life, it gives you a positive energy and makes you feel like you're doing something good for yourself, which you actually are. And that way, you may not even have the time to look at what other people are doing and start drawing comparisons. The third thing is that you have to acknowledge that you're different, right? Because you're different, your path is different, your destination is different, your reality is different. No two people are the same. And because your path is different, chances are the challenges you face are also unique to you to an extent. So you will not be fair to yourself by comparing yourself to people who may have it easier than you do. This is also not to encourage mediocrity. And because people's realities are different, the outcomes of their life are also different. So be gracious to yourself and be kind to yourself. The next thing you can do is focus on personal growth. I tell a friend of mine that this is real life. Like, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the life that we are talking about. So whatever it is we want to achieve, this is the time we have to put in the effort. So focus on personal growth. Draw out your goals, the things you want to achieve, and give realistic timelines to it. Having in mind that like these things may not actually follow this timeline because life is dynamic and a lot can happen. But just have something that you're working towards. Rather than coming every day to look at other people and see what they're doing and just being a spectator, put in the effort in your own life, and over time you're going to see how far you're going to come. The next thing is surround yourself with supportive people who are going to give you the chance to be your most authentic self, people who are not going to put you under undue pressure or make you go out of your ways to do things in order to fit in, people that will just allow you and encourage you to grow at your own pace while still motivating you to become a better version of yourself. The next thing is to be kind to yourself. I think I've mentioned it somewhere, but I really want to talk more about it. Be gracious to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. And this is not self pity. This has to do with looking at how far you've come, looking at some of the things that you've had to experience. Understand that you have weaknesses and strengths as well. And this is not to say that we should capitalize on our weaknesses to not develop ourselves or become better. But understanding that you have weaknesses is going to help you be kinder to yourself, help you know that there are things you need to work on. Finally, understand that comparison does you more harm than good. It strips you of the ability to make wholesome, objective, independent decisions because you're going to constantly be looking at the other person to see what they are going to do, how far they are going to come. And by doing that, you're not able to express your true self. You're not able to become who it is that God has created you to be. No two people are the same. God has created us differently and He has given us different things to make our lives better. So if we constantly have to imitate each other, then we are just a replica of each other, right? So in constantly comparing yourself to people, you're depriving yourself of the ability to become original, to become authentic. You just be like a replica of the person you're comparing yourself to. And you could lose yourself in the process of trying to become better than the other person. And it can also be very limiting. Someone said imitation is limitation. And this may not be a lie, because if you're constantly comparing yourself to somebody, it means that you're invariably looking up to that person, because that person has become a yardstick for you to measure your success or your growth in whatever area it is. And whatever it is obtainable with that person. This is what you are aspiring to. And by doing that, you're limiting yourself to that person's standard, and you're not able to like go 360, or give yourself the positive push that you need. So that's that for this video. Thank you so much. See you all in my next video. Bye.